Shalom. For the foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakadash, and the Heavenly Father, true name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Bahashem, in the name of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Those are the true names in ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lost Gospel Holy Tongue. And I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf, and I say Shalom. And this is a sit-down lesson of the prophecy updates as of June the 14th, 2026, on this Sunday afternoon. And as we've seen, a couple of hours as of recently, you had a Trump call to Lebanon of Hezbollah and Israel to calm down because they were supposed to have a signing deal today. But she was that day before yesterday. You had the prime minister of Iran was saying that we're not going to sign a deal today. But Trump was saying he's determined to sign a deal today. But Iran was saying that we're not going to sign a deal right now because I believe the Israel Defense Force they responded back of an airstrike and drone strike that Hezbollah did, and then potentially Iran they might respond back. I mean, it was Hezbollah, let's say. So Iran they potentially might gonna strike back. They're gonna strike back because Iran was mentioned that if the Israel Defense Force continue to strike, Hezbollah over that Beirut, they're gonna potentially might respond back. So this was a news article from the time of Israel. So I was going to add a side note to that. And this is from the time of Israel. This was updated 16 minutes ago. It says Iran reportedly ruling a U.S. initiatives not to attack Israel over Beirut. It says Iran airspace is closed ahead of a potential attack. Following tracking, the data shows Trump says the Israeli strike on Beirut shouldn't happen. It says none of Lebanon should be hit in the future. It says Netanyahu has no effing judgment. Right, Trump is cussed out Benjamin Netanyahu. It says report of the Israeli official stunned by Trump's criticism of Prime Minister of a president flowing Lebanon pull out of the partner deal. And this is 18 minutes ago. It says two soldiers were hurt by a Hezbollah rocket fire in southern Lebanon. It says Iranian airspace closed ahead of a potential attack on Israel. Flight track data shows. It says Iran reportedly bullied a initiative offered by the U.S. not to attack Israel. It says UNG slams Israel strikes on Beirut amid efforts to reach a deal. Right, it says Iran braces for a Iranian attack potentially. Iran braces for a Iranian attack fire after a strike on Hezbollah targeting Beirut, right over in southern Beirut. So we're going to see how this plays out. So I'm going to check out some more news articles from Al Jazeera. And that goes into that Matthew's 24th chapter, verse 6, wars and rumors of wars. So I'm going to check out Al Jazeera, check out some news updates as we continue to occupy prophecies. So this is a prophecy update, so it makes perfect sense. It says, this is 37 minutes ago. It says Iran warns Israel fingers are on the trigger and that mistrust clouds U.S. deal. It says Israel tests U.S. limits as it seeks to undermine a deal Israeli analyst has says. Yep, so wars and rumors of wars. So I'm going to get to that. Matter of fact, I'm bringing it to you. Yeah, even more better that way. Yeah, I can read through the book. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 6. It says, "You shall hear of wars and rumors of wars." Right, we hear wars and rumors of wars on a daily basis. It says, "See that ye be not troubled for all these things, must first come to pass, but it's not yet." Right, so it's going to come to pass, but I haven't edged yet. This is Matthew 24, verse 7. "For nation shall rise against nation." Right, Iran versus Israel. Iran versus the United States, despite the fact they potentially might get close to a deal. You got Russia, Ukraine. "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom." It says there shall be famines and pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places. Right, so we see the famines, pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, definitely particularly. And that's what we see. So I'll bring up the next scripture. Oh yeah, that Luke 20, verse 25. Can't forget about that. Yeah, this is the Gospel of Luke 21 In verse 25, and it reads, it says, "And there shall be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity." Right, so we're seeing the uptick of distress of nations with perplexity, which one. So that's something will continue to increase. So we'll check out the Jerusalem Post, see if there's any updates to that. So Iran is kind of mulling the idea if they should they go ahead and attack Israel with that response attack they did over in Beirut. We're going to see if they're going to listen to the United States offers to not attack them, or Iran is going to go ahead and make the attack. So we're going to see how that plays out. It says Iran vows to strike Israel. It will not go unanswered, right? It will not go unanswered. So we're going to see how that plays out if they're going to strike them or if they're not. So let's check out some more updates. Check out the Middle East. This is Western Asia. It says a Trump deal may be worsened. It says Iran's final draft includes a ban on productions on acquiring nuclear weapons. Yeah, because Iran has some things they might agree to a deal, but they're not going to fully give up their nuclear capability. That's not going to happen. So they won't be able to make or more nuclear capability. That's not going to happen. Now they might agree to a deal. They're just going to go ahead and sign it, but they're not going to just sign it right. Just wait, because the Israel defense was of their trust on the end of the bargain. So that's why Iran was kind of questioning if Israel is going to be part of this deal. They're like, hey, if y'all keep on attacking us unjustly, y'all keep on blaming us, doing a lot of violating ceasefires and stuff like that, y'all doing the same thing. And Iran was like, let me back up for a minute. I'm not going to sign this deal just yet. And this Trump administration trying to push us to sign this deal, try to get it over with, but that's not going to be the case. Because countless of times the Israel Defense Force would violate the ceasefires, which they're doing right now on this current ceasefire that they have. Now they're trying to sign this potential deal that potentially might end war. So Iran was like, you know what, we're going to think about it. We're not going to rush into things. Now with this latest incident right here, y'all have a strike. Neighboring allies of Hezbollah over there in Lebanon. Now y'all strike them. Supposedly y'all did in self-defense, but y'all still continue breaking the ceasefire. Now, if we sign a deal with y'all gonna be doing the same thing over and over again, breaking ceasefires, breaking deals like y'all previously did over there in the Gaza Strip. Over there in the West Bank. Over there in Lebanon previously. Y'all might potentially want to do it once again. Hey, what's that? First Thessalonians. Yeah, bring up that First Thessalonians. Yep, it's the book of First Thessalonians. See if I can bring that up. Auto rocks, how will. Hey, because the Iranians looking at like, man, can they be fully trusted? Hey, because you got the Iranians, they looking like, man, is you gonna speak to Benjamin Netanyahu if we're gonna be part of this deal? If all three of us gonna sign off on this deal to fully end the war, hey, we don't know if we're gonna trust the Israel Defense Force. This is First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, sudden distress shall come upon them, as they travail woman child shall not escape." Right. So when they shall say peace and safety, sudden distress shall come upon them, as a travail child shall not escape. What's that? Isaiah 48, verse 22. Hey, there's no peace to the wicked, thus saith Yahweh Shemashai. Hey, because those idea of Edomites, hey, they doing a lot of what you call unrighteous creeds. So believe it at that. Check out the news now. Check out some news updates. So we're gonna see potentially if Iran is gonna respond back from the airstrike that Israeli Defense Force did over there in Lebanon. We're gonna see if they're gonna respond back. And this was supposed to be the day. Now, according to Trump, this is supposed to be a good day. I think today is his birthday and stuff like that. He was saying this is supposed to be a great day. We're supposed to sign this deal. Hey, the Iranians like, no, we're not going to sign no deal just yet. And we still got tensions against the Israel Defense Force. So that lets you know that despite the fact previously they've been signing these deals with one another, Iran and Israel in the United States, that lets you know there's a high tension still there between Iran and Israel. So it says UK. It says the UK has intercepted Russia's Shadow Fleet tanker for the first time. Oh yeah, I did see that earlier this morning when I woke up. So that lets you know that the European, I think the European Union and NATO as allies, they've been having rising tensions between Russia and Belarus. So keep that in mind as well too. That Ezekiel 38 chapter. So Russia been having close encounter with these European Union allies of NATO and the European Union, and then with that close encounter yesterday from Sweden, because you had the spokesperson for Sweden was stated yesterday that in the near future, as we get closer and closer, there might be a potential conflict of NATO might strike Russia. So that goes into that Ezekiel 38 chapter. So we definitely seeing that heating up. That's another sign of wars and rumors of wars. So I'm gonna check out. I just want to add a side note to that. Let's see. Check out some more news articles. It said thousands protest at a G7 in Geneva as leaders prepare to hold a summit nearby France. It says Trump. This is from the Huffington Post. It says Trump warns Israel not. It says Trump warns Israel and Iran not to blow it away after strikes threatens emerging ceasefire deal. So we're gonna see how that plays out. Because most likely, there's gonna be no deal gonna be signed today. After that incident took place, so most likely we're gonna see if Iran is gonna respond back to that attack that the Israelis did over at Beirut. So we're gonna see if they can respond back to that. It says, that was a previous news article. It says at least 17 people were unalive by a gunman in northwestern Nigeria. And then I think you had like a plane crash over there in Missouri. It was like 12 people. It was like 20 people were unalive at a plane crash. And so that shows we're seeing a lot of stuff that's going on in the world today. And that lets you know these are biblical signs and signs of times. And these are the signs that Yahushua spoke about that was going to occur before he makes a return. So these are war, evil, and a pestilence, and judgments are increasing in our world today. That's going to continue to increase. Like it says in Jeremiah 28, verse 8. So I just want to add that this was sad note to that. It says a fire erupts at a key strategic fuel deposit after a drone attack on Russia. So that Russia-Ukraine situation is still heating up. It says British forces siege a Russian shadow fleet tanker in a landmark sanctioned enforced operation. So yeah, these Edomite nations, these Edomite nations, they still gonna be battling against one another. Like it says in the Mark 3rd chapter, since I mentioned that. Yeah, this is Mark chapter 3, and Shalom to the Akim that's on the comment board, and Yahweh Shem Yashab, Barakatah. Hey, Shalom, Aqua sister. Hey, peace and blessings to your house when I say Shalom. Salaki, I know you was on the comment board. Hey, Shalom to your Aqua sister. And this is the book of Mark chapter 3. Yeah, it's the book of Mark chapter 3 and verse 24. Yeah, Mark chapter 3, verse 24. It says, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, the kingdom cannot stand. Right, that's what it's saying. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, the kingdom cannot stand. So the nation of Edom, the kingdom of Edom is being divided now. So we'll see more signs of that. It says a Ukrainian drone unalive one and injured 3 others in southern Russia. Ukrainian drones strike bridges in the Hakchin, halting a traffic towards Crimea. Yep, so that let you know the Russian-Ukrainian situation is still intensifying by the day. Let me see some latest updates from time of Israel. Check and see. It says protesters. It says a report. It says settlers. It says settlers set a fire and vandalized 4 vehicles near Ramallah. Right, because you've been having those heavy tensions between those Israeli Defense Forces and those the Palestinians, and then you've been having the far right small hammers been burning villages and stuff like that, and Palestinians be and stuff like that. So that shows you that we're going to be seeing nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. The nations are in perplexity, like it says in Luke 20, verse 25. So keep that in mind as well too. It says hardy protesters rally outside of the Justice Home protest, arrest of the draft dodger. And that's over there in the Middle East, uh, which is Western Asia. So let me get back to out to Syria, see if it, any more news updates. Hey, so once again, shalom to the Aqua sister, Rebecca. Hey, peace and blessings, good your household, Aqua sister. I didn't know you was on the comment board, so slack for that, sister. Shalom to you, Rebecca sister. Let's see if there's any more news updates. This is a another update. That he's a former envoy of an Israelis. This is 4 hours ago. I mean, 4 minutes ago from Al Jazeera. It says former Israeli envoy says Trump feels betrayed by Netanyahu. Hey, that's that division between Esau and Edom. Hey, if a kingdom be divided against the other kingdom, I stand. Hey, the division between Esau and Edom. Hey, just like the same thing with NATO Revelations. Matter of fact, since I mentioned that, yeah, I was looking for Revelations. Hey, this is beautiful. Hey, the water, how about you, the division between these Edomite nations. This is Revelations. Yeah, Revelation 17. Yeah, it's a book of Revelations 17. Yeah, Revelation 17, verse 16. It says, "In the 10 horns was thou sawest upon the beast, and these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and shall burn her with fire." Right, so that's what we're seeing. Hey, the tension between these Edomite nations, especially of NATO and the United States. So let me check and see some more. You had a news article right here from RT.com that says that U.S. Israelis good cop bad cop tactics is outdated. It says from the Iranian chief negotiator. It says Mohammed Ghalibaf, I believe if I pronounce his name right, has condemned the West Jerusalem continued bombing of Lebanon, amid Washington diplomatic push. He said, "Hey, the good cop, bad cop, that stuff is played out." Hey, and what's that? Isaiah the 47th chapter, night nakedness should be uncovered, that shame should be seen. Hey, so the small hatters, nakedness should be uncovered, shame should be seen. Right along with Esau, Edom over here in the version of Babylon. Hey, the body how about Shemashai. It says U.S. dubs down on Hormuz blockage despite Indian protests of sailors' deaths. It says Zelensky not. It says Zelensky not on Trump's G7 meetings. G7 meeting, at least in Bloomberg. Mm, yeah, check out some more. Check out the Jerusalem Post. Yeah, check out some more updates. See some more updates. Yeah, it says U.S. It says Iran vows that Israeli strikes were not gone unanswered. Right, we're not going unanswered, which I read that already. It says no casualties reported after a rocket hits Upper Galilee. It says this is from the Jerusalem Post, updated June 14th, 8:16 p.m. It says several rockets here hit near the Neoli Makarakish of the south of Kiryat Shimulia, close to the IDF soldiers, were operating the military reform on Sunday. It says an additional impact were identified in the area and one drone inclusions the military added. And this is from June 14th, 7:12 p.m. from the Jerusalem Post. It says the Israel Defense Force Chief Zemir. It says we are ready for Iran attack in the coming hours. The home front shall be alerted. It says although Zemir stated that there were no immediate home front restrictions that could be in the coming hours in the event of an Iranian attack, right? So they prepared. Just like it was a previous news article a couple hours ago about the Israel Defense Force doing what they multi-front war. They on high alert once again, as they previously did. So we're gonna see if Iran is gonna respond back. Is they gonna listen to the United States to not attack Iran? I mean to not attack Israel. If they're not gonna listen to the United States about the advice from them not attacking Iran. I mean not attacking Israel. If they're gonna bypass that, If that's the case, most likely they're going to respond back to Israel Defense Force what they attacked uh, southern Beirut, in a response attack. So we're going to see how that plays out. If they're going to respond back, this potentially might jeopardize the deal. Even though, according to Trump, he said this is not going to really affect the deal that they're supposed to be signing today. But Iran is saying we're not going to sign no deal today. So we're going to see how this plays out as the hours progresses on in Sunday. It says Zamir acknowledged that the attack will be a retaliation for the IDF airstrikes in Beirut early Sunday, which itself was a retaliation for Hezbollah drone launches against the Israeli town in northern Israel. It says a statement said that the Zamir was getting running updates on the heightened security situation, although Zamir stated that there were no immediate home front restrictions that could be in the coming hours in the event of the Iranian attack. It says Israel should stop all strikes in Lebanon, Trump has said following a Sunday Bashir attack. It says this is from from PKXF. He said Iran will never have a nuclear weapon under the U.S. deal. PXF says. It says the IDF kills commander in Beirut strike. The Israel DC ambassador has said. It says the Iranian regime is always lying, said foreign minister. Hey, the Israel Defense Force, they always lying as well too. It says this is from June the 14th. No, I'm just reading these updates from from the Jerusalem Post. It says June the 14th, 4:31 p.m. It says the Israel Defense Force maintains a alert, alertness and readiness in all areas following the strike in Beirut. Zimmer has said, "This is bring out that Joel, the third chapter that I'm closed out." And shalom to the Aqua sister once again, Rebecca. Peace and blessings on your household, Rebecca sister. I say shalom once again. And shalom to Akim out there as well too. And Barak Thumb to you or your household as well too. When I say shalom. And once again, I say Barak Thumb to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwa, when I say shalom once more. And this is the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, like the armies of the other nations. It says, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near to come up. And that's what we see in Western Asia. So we're going to see if Iran is going to respond back, or they're going to take the advice from the Trump administration. So we're going to see how this plays out, especially as we're monitoring this situation throughout the day. Because anything could happen any minute or any hour, Hey, that's what the elder Apostle Har says. He said, "Hey, every day you're missing. Every day you miss. Every day you miss some news. You miss a lot." And he is right about that. This is Joel chapter 3 verse 10. It says, "Beat your plowshares and swords and plunderings at the spears, and let the weak sound strong." Right, so let the weak sound strong. So that's what we're seeing from the Iranians. And they was like, we still got our hand on the trigger. If we're gonna decide to respond back. Either we're gonna take Nero 47's advice, or we bypass that, or we're gonna use a strike on Israel Defense Force and respond back to the airstrike they did on that Beirut in response to Hezbollah striking them. So basically, it's like basically they be striking back each other, and let you know that you still got hostility and animosity towards Iran against Israel still. It says, beat your plowshares and swords and plunders at the spears, and let them sound strong, right? The proxy groups, the pro-Iranian groups, the Iranian armies still got tension against the Israeli Defense Force, and that's what we're seeing. And bring out that Revelation 11, verse 14, then I'm closing out. This is Revelations 11, verse 14. Yep, Revelations 11, verse 14. It says, the second will pass, behold, the third will come quickly. Right, so the second will pass, behold, the third will come quickly. So this was just a prophecy update that I want to bring out as of June the 3rd, matter of fact, June 14th, 2026, on this Sunday afternoon. So hopefully this is edifying. So we're gonna see what's gonna actually happen. Is Iran gonna respond back? If not, or they just gonna not going to respond back, and then continue on with focusing on the deal. So we're going to see how that plays out. But that lets you know we still seeing prophecies are increasing, and we're seeing biblical signs not wars made. So we're seeing wars and rumors of wars are increasing, and all these major events and prophecies they are increasing, and they still going to come to pass fulfilled. So with that being said, hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying of these prophecy updates as of June the 14th, 2026 on this Sunday afternoon. So hopefully this was edifying. And with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakayash, and your Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and his only begotten Son, Bahashem. In the name of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, and those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, Orthodox tongue. And I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles, wa Akim, wa Akraf. To the next time, I would say Kwame Sharala and Abba Ball, Shalom.